New information tonight about the history of a woman who says she found a human finger in her Wendy's chili, and it might place doubt on whether or not she's telling the truth. A man breaks into a Valley woman's home with murder on his mind. He chases her through a parking lot with a handgun while frightened neighbors watch in horror. A scary smash up after a car flies off the highway right into another broken down car, and it's captured on police dash cam. You're getting some action tonight, Las Vegas. We promise. Action News Live at 11 starts right now. And breaking news off the top tonight, and strong winds pounding the valley, causing power outages, trees down, all sorts of damage. Some gusts reaching at least 40 miles an hour. Action News Live tonight, reporter Mike Dello Stritto is live at Decatur and Penwood. Mike.
Tricia, we all know how important weather is to you sitting at home, and we are here at a weather story that no other station is at. This is a good one. We're here at the Sun Point Apartments here at Decatur and Penwood. Right now, not much wind at all. It's pretty calm, actually. The wind died down, I'd say, in the last 15 minutes. You can see evidence of that wind down here, just a little bit of trash in the grass. We've got some debris, some dry brush over there in the parking lot. You can see behind me these emergency lights in the background. You see those 3 cop cars. Metro showed up here, I'd say, in the last 10 minutes. You see that other truck? That's the fire truck. Clark County Fire has been here for quite some point, but we're going to take you in a little closer to what is the more impressive visual here tonight. You see this fire line off in the distance, 10 feet up. Beyond that, a downed tree. That is one of 2 downed trees here. The other one, an even more impressive sight. We got a close-up look just a few minutes ago. Take a look at this uprooted tree. This is no 10-footer. This is a big one, and it's right in the middle of an apartment complex. We're going to give you a closer look down this way. You can see from the thickness of this stump just how big this one is. You get an even better idea when you see just how many branches are coming off of this thing. And take a look up to the left. It's hitting the balcony of this apartment complex, and it's all the way over to the right side to that balcony. Just think if this thing was to fall potentially another angle, it could have fell right on top of this apartment complex. Of course, people are home. They saw this whole thing happen. In fact, you said you saw this come down too.
Yeah, we were just standing right there. We were looking that another tree was going to fall down, but this one just fell down instead, first than the other one. And
2 trees down at this apartment complex. Of course, the neighbors, you can see all around here, they're up on balconies, they're down, they're trying to check this out. Meanwhile, as you just saw, the fire department is also here. They're trying to make sure that people can stay here tonight, that all the units are safe. You can hear that buzzsaw in the background as they immediately get to work. And the people here at Sun Point Apartments literally dodging a tree, not dodging a bullet, dodging a tree. In fact, I'm just finding out now that the people who live here are being forced to evacuate. I know that you're translating for the Hispanics here. Ask them where they're going tonight.
Where are you going tonight?
I don't know. We're doing inspect manager. Command office, I go. I don't know where we go.
The manager's office, can we go somewhere?
They're going to Red Cross.
Red Cross.
Yeah, they're going to Red Cross.
The chief saying that they're going to send everybody to Red Cross in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. They are going to Red Cross. We're being told, again, a lot of Spanish speakers here at this complex. You see this family of 5. They are being ushered to a hotel room tonight. So apparently the fire department is saying it is not safe to stay here. 2 downed trees. We were told initially no damage, but apparently there is some concern that there could be damage. They're not letting these people sleep here tonight. We are live here at Decatur and Penwood. Mike Dello Stritto, Channel 13 Action News. Nate.
Yeah, Mike, it has really been whipping out there. The wind kicked up almost as if a switch was flipped at 2 o'clock this afternoon, and then it really kicked it up an extra notch about 9 o'clock tonight. That's when the National Weather Service issued a wind advisory until 1 o'clock this morning. We'll talk about that in a second, but we have several more hours of wind to go as the low-pressure system responsible for all of this is still sitting off of the Northern California coast. There's the southwest wind, but we've got several bands yet to go, so it is going to be windy through the overnight hours with that wind advisory in effect until 1 o'clock in the morning. A wind advisory is issued when steady winds are expected to be between 30 and 40 miles an hour and gusts over 40. We've got both of those going on tonight. We'll talk about when there's any relief in sight and the temperatures through the weekend and into next week in Action Weather.
Thank you, Nate. Well, on to some news tonight. She said she found a human finger in her food, but tonight new information is coming to light about the woman who police are now investigating on suspicions she planted the finger there herself. Action News, the first station to bring you the story, and we are still all over it tonight. Andy Roesgen back at the home of Anna Ayala, where she's been answering a lot of tough questions. Andy.
Well, Anna Ayala, who found that finger in that bowl of chilies at that Wendy's in San Jose, has apparently filed a lot of lawsuits in the past. But Anna still insists the real issue here is the heavy-handed pressure put on her back at her home back there by San Jose and Las Vegas detectives. So the truth here is about as murky as a bowl of chili.
I don't know.
Ana Ayala is just as feisty and defiant behind the door of her home tonight as she was when we were the first news station to talk to her yesterday.
They are so wrong. The truth is going to come out, and when it does, it's going to hit him right in the face.
But now comes word that Ana has actually been in court over half a dozen times, filing lawsuits against her boss, against a car dealership, against El Pollo Loco. She claimed that her daughter got sick here.
That was a long time ago, and I don't know about it, okay? And that's a very different thing, and that's my little girl involved. Don't talk about my baby.
And when we asked Ana about a pattern of lawsuits she has filed...
Ah!
Well, you have to answer if you can...
You know what? They are wrong. They are wrong.
Okay.
They are wrong.
Ana is sticking to her claim and the claims of her family that her house was torn up by San Jose and Las Vegas detectives in a search warrant, and that her daughter in particular was roughed up.
The cop opened the door. He had a gun pointed to my head. He pulled me from my mom, twisted my arm, and threw me on the ground with all his force.
Ana, again, is calling it ludicrous that she would pull the finger off a dead relative to put in that bowl of chili. That's the accusation that her family says was in that search warrant.
They should look at Wendy's. What the hell is Wendy's hiding?
Ana isn't saying whether she's going to file a claim against those police detectives from San Jose and Metro, but they are telling us, hey, bring it on. The San Jose detective tells us that they treated the family with respect in that search warrant on Wednesday night. In the meantime, police aren't saying anything else about this. They say this investigation is still ongoing. Reporting live near Maryland Parkway and Serene, Andy Roesgen, Channel 13 Action News.
And Ana Ayala knows what it's like to be served with a search warrant, but most of us do not. And coming up in a little bit, we will tell you what your rights would be if the police showed up at your door with a search warrant and what they have the right to do to you. Well, apartment complex chaos, a jealous man with a gun, a dangerous chase, dozens of neighbors in the line of fire. We're now hearing the stories from those who saw it all. A guy getting into his estranged wife's apartment Wednesday. He spots his wife's friend and holds him hostage. Mike Dello Stritto picks up the story with the madman waiting for his wife to walk in the door.
The woman comes home to the Kings Crossing apartments, finding her friend at gunpoint and her estranged husband with his finger on the trigger.
He goes, go sit down on the couch, you're about to die or I'm going to kill you.
She ran right out the door. He started shooting at her, then chased her.
She was running this way. He was about here, shooting at her. I seen her turn in through the little alley right here, and she ran off.
She started running for her life. She ran past 3 buildings, and she wasn't done yet.
She apparently ran through there yelling at all the kids that were playing to get down, gunfire, get down.
She kept running, still thinking this guy was shooting, still chasing her. This boy saw it all.
Her running across the rocks with no shoes on, and she was screaming, he's trying to kill me.
She saw a guy, a stranger, walk into his home. Neighbors say that guy just moved in 2 hours earlier. She banged on his door, then locked herself inside. There was one final shot she didn't hear.
That last shot you heard, did you think that he killed himself, or did you think he shot the other hostage?
I think he just shot the other hostage, I don't know.
It turns out the guy shot himself, killed himself right outside her front door. A deadly shooting spree. The only victim, himself. Near Lake Mead in Tenaya, Mike Dello Stritto, Channel 13 Action News.
Back to local news now, and people who received ID cards or licenses from a woman accused of selling phony ones could have to prove their authenticity. Charita Carter is accused of selling the fake IDs to prostitutes. DMV officials are investigating and say it doesn't look like the identities of registered drivers were stolen, but they are doing an audit just to make sure. A Bosnian man who had a final wish of becoming an American citizen has died. Bosnian war refugee Faik Halilovic was granted citizenship at his hospital bedside 9 days ago. Halilovic died yesterday from pancreatic cancer. He came to Las Vegas 7 years ago after fleeing his native country. Well,
when you see news breaking, call Action News by hitting pound 113 on your AT&T wireless phone.
And welcome back tonight. Well, we told you earlier about police searching the home of the woman who claims she bit into a human finger in a bowl of Wendy's chili. She knows what it's like to be served with a search warrant, but most of us don't. So do you know what police are allowed to do once they're in your home? Do you know what they have to prove before they come in? Action News reporter Scott Burton has the answers.
To get the answers, we headed to one of the most respected sources in our valley. We turned to famed defense attorney John Mamet. Tonight, he leads us through the law of search warrants. Ana Ayala's family says this mess is the result of Metro and San Jose PD entering their home.
And I want the media to know these people are wrong. They're wrong.
They're furious, but are they victims? The law is specific when it comes to search warrants. It applies to Ana Ayala, and it applies to you. First, investigators have to have probable cause to get a search warrant, and they have to be specific in what they believe they'll find.
They have to identify the items which they're looking for on the face of the search warrant.
The warrant has to be signed by a judge, and normally it has to be served between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. Once the warrant is issued, police can look practically anywhere inside your home, make any mess they need, as long as it's in pursuit of the evidence they're searching. And you're left to clean up the aftermath.
You're left to clean it up, whether they find anything or not.
By law, police can put you in handcuffs. They can put you on the ground. Ayala says her daughter's arm was hurt by officers. They are not allowed to go beyond reasonable force. These are just some of the laws that apply. There are many more, but the law is universal. Ana Ayala, to you. Finally, since there are so many laws involved here, if you are served with a warrant, you're advised not to say a thing to anyone, including officers, and contact an attorney immediately. I'm Scott Burton, Channel 13, Action News.